Hey everyone, welcome to POPXP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the POPXP channel. My God, I don't know what to think of this Dr. Blevins guy. Oh, scary. Whoa, hey, what's going on, man? Hey, YouTube! It's the brain of the mainframe here, Nascal with POPXP, and joining me tonight, and you better vote for him, Mr. Blevins is in the house. Blevins, how you doing, fella?
That's me, not a doctor. Not much, man. I'm just.
You said you were a doctor. That's kind of weird. You pretend to be a doctor.
I just have to say, not a doctor. It's a part of a settlement due to a very crazy incident that happened.
All right, prescription for free hugs and kisses. If anybody wants a free prescription for hugs and kisses. Nice, man. You got a haircut, looking sharp.
Yeah, I got this haircut on Craigslist.
How's Sean?
I guess he's okay. He's
Sean.
It's a very weird question to ask. Hey, how's that guy that stayed at your house? I don't know. Hasn't killed him yet.
Yeah, that's a plus. That's a plus.
Yeah. What's up with you, man? Hey, look at all that stuff on the board in the background.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Is number three?
Penis.
Did you have to write in to tell your wife that you love her? Like, is this what says number 3 is tell wife I love her?
That is tell wife I love her, and don't call her by. It says right here, don't call her by your girlfriend's name. Because that's awkward.
Why would you call your wife by my girlfriend's name?
I don't know. So what is going on with you, Blevins? You got an exciting day tomorrow.
Dude, I do. Tomorrow is the last day of the election time period. You know, I get to find out if I won or not. Looking to change the way that our city, the way that my city is. Try to get out a little bit of the corruption, which I've been fighting for the longest time. You know, I don't want to put a lot of political stuff in that. I'm really psyched that it's going to come to a head tomorrow. Either I win or I lose. I hope I win, but you know, it was a good fight.
Now, what are you running for anyone out there that may be in your area?
Man, city council.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, it's gonna make some rules, lay down the law.
Hey, you know what? You're a very passionate young man. You are, I will say. Yeah, and I think they would be honored to have a man of your stature in that position.
I would like to think so, but you know, there are people that have been milking that gravy train for a while that don't want somebody to hold them accountable. So, I mean, there's a fight everywhere. So, it's pretty crazy.
What is we got here? Behold Blevins before the corruption sets in from Zippy the Unicorn. Well, nice. Mr. Blevins, we have a great show tonight.
Unbelievable show.
Unbelievable. With a great friend of ours. And I would like you, my friend, to do the honor of the introduction.
Well, our special guest for today, which would be a secret if Niall didn't plaster it everywhere and let everybody know. But we have someone who played a very integral part in a lot of people's childhood by setting unrealistic goals of achievements. Because, you know, there's no way that you could beat the games that he helped.
It's the rank level.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's so crazy. Just recently found out that he has a real-life koi pond that I'm pretty sure Bob is in from Earthworm Jim 2. Can't confirm. But let's bring him on out, Mr. Doug TenNapel.
What? That's City Councilman Doug TenNapel to you, Blevins.
Is it? Are you a city councilman?
No. Are you kidding? I'm not a
good. I'm not going to
look like an idiot
with that. Zinga.
Man,
how are you guys?
We're doing good.
Right now that you're on, like I'm excited.
He combed his hair. He's got a collared shirt on, buttons up to the neck. The collar is down. I mean, this man is ready to party right now.
Dude, definitely.
Man, cheese.
Craigslist. It was awesome.
He's got the Richard C. Meyer haircut.
Richard C. Meyer.
I've never seen his hair. I don't know.
Oh no.
We need to see his hair.
Well,
going on about Dr. Pepper.
It's great to know on an election day like tomorrow, with all the nation in turmoil, that our buddy, Mr. Blevins, could just be on city council.
It's crazy to know that I'm on the same ballot as Kanye West.
Yeah. You're just below him.
That's a real story.
That guy couldn't get elected to city council.
You should frame that.
Hey,
Get a copy of that?
You don't have to answer. This is probably a personal thing, but is city council a paid position? Do they pay you anything?
It is a paid position.
Is it like a job, or is it just like you show up to meetings?
It is a job, but I plan on donating my paycheck to help make the city better.
Nah, don't say that. Don't say that.
Oh, I mean, it's already done deal.
I won't hold you to it. But do you, on city council, do you get an office?
No, not at all. It's a position that I can run from my house. There is an office at City Hall to where I can use it if necessary, but no.
But it's in this fine state. It's Tennessee. So it's like a trailer.
No, it's a really nice building.
Okay. With marble.
They actually did a pretty incredible job with the building. So,
but again, we were opening a Jersey Mike's with that money. You lying son of a.
Yeah, put that money back in the community by opening a successful sandwich franchise.
Yeah. Jersey Mike's, bro. I wanted the Jersey Mike's way. Do you have Jersey Mike's, Doug?
They do, but who wants to eat Jersey food in Tennessee? Shouldn't they have a Tennessee Mike's?
I think so.
Well, they do, but that's up here in the Northeast.
That's right.
Mike's. You guys have Jersey Mike's.
Everyone else gets the Jersey.
And Blevins has a Subway.
That's right.
Yeah, I got Subway. Eat fresh. You know what I'm saying?
It's made out of yoga mats.
Every time I go
it's like total city bias. It's like we don't have a Subway, but we have to eat at your stupid Subway.
Dude, they have like Firehouse subs and Subway here.
I really like Firehouse subs.
I like Firehouse subs.
That big giant rack of like 50 hot sauces. I can do that all day. In fact, I'll take a whole handful of them back to my table. You're not supposed to take them to your table, but I take them to my table. And I put one drop of hot sauce on every bite, a different flavor of hot sauce on each bite of my Firehouse sub.
Well, they don't let you in restaurant. Like we're not opened up to where you can go in restaurants now. So they actually bring the food out to your car. So you can't even get I don't even know if they even have the sauces.
I drove by a Firehouse sub here in Tennessee, just northeast of the airport, and they had the hot sauces out, and they said they were open, but I didn't realize they wouldn't let you go in and sit.
Well, I'm saying that's how Arkansas is. Asa Hutchinson has like all the restaurants and hotels on lockdown.
Yeah, we're back in. Now we're going backwards. They just dropped us back to phase 2 today.
Yeah.
So now
what's up? They stopped. They said the next 4 weeks they're shutting down Europe, right? Is that what it is? Or
well, I know Germany's shut down for like
Germany.
4 weeks.
That's what. I'm
the big loss. That should be permanent. Oh, it's terrible. To our 1.5 German viewers, I apologize.
Cheers.
It's so nice of you to apologize, Doug, even though you didn't do anything wrong.
And remember to try Firehouse subs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This program is brought to you by Subway. That's why we're saying go to Firehouse subs. It's just better food.
It's hot on both ends.
But we do have a real sponsor. That's Honey. Honey's a free browser.
Yeah, you'll set your house on fire.
Get discounts on thousands of items from millions of websites all around the interwebs. It's a free download browser extension. Just click the button.
So what's the big deal? What's the big deal in comics that I'm missing? What's the big deal?
Well, you mean what are some of the big stories that you're missing?
Big stories, I really haven't followed much the last month.
Well, the Last Ronin just came out, which was the big story that everybody was chomping at the bit to get, which is, Eastman and Laird coming back together, telling like the future story of, what would essentially end up being the end of the Ninja Turtles, like the last one remaining. And again, the big mystique around it was that no one knew who the last turtle was,
I guessed it in one shot.
You did. Well, I mean, you had a 25% chance.
That's right. 1 in 4.
Yeah,
but it just made sense. It made sense.
So anyway, like the book is in black and white.
Cool. I like that already.
Yeah, and man, it's done exceptionally well too. And the story was really, really good. And I'm not gonna ruin the story, obviously, but they answer the main question, like in the very first book, which took me completely out of the story. Like I was so hyped. I was psyched. It was action packed, had some craziness occur in it. And I'm like, man, this is like absolutely one of the best books that I've read, until like you get to the last act of the book. And it just, I felt that it just crapped on the idea behind it. Like it was good, don't get me wrong, but it just crapped on the whole hype of it. The whole hype of the book was ruined in the last 2 pages of the
Kevin
book.
Eastman waking up from a bed. Oh, what a crazy!
It was a kid in a snow globe all along.
What a crazy dream that was.
Yeah, but
I had too much pizza.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Despite the idea that it was a Ninja Turtles book, I will tell you that I actually, and this is, I'm being honest when I say this. I'm not just doing it because of Billy or anything, but man, She-Return of the Warrior was an incredible story, and I think it was better than the Last Ronin. I thought it was better than the Last Ronin.
Oh yeah, no, Billy's good. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think that this is the best She story that there has been. You know, I think that Return of the Warrior is just incredible, and I can't wait for the next book to come out.
You need to read my fan fiction of She.
But it's erotic fan fiction, and I'm not really down with that.
I have erotic fan fiction of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
which is much worse. Yeah. Also, a Yellow Flash wrapped up, right? The whole Flash saga, didn't that wrap up?
Man, to be honest with you, I haven't really been paying that one.
I think the Yellow Flash stuff wrapped up, that whole Flash universe timeline or whatever it is.
The only DC title that I've really been paying attention to has been the Legends of the Dark Knight, the Dark Metal stuff. Greg Capullo
that's okay, Brian, because no one else reads DC stuff either. So
yeah, I just focus on the indie books now.
Yeah, Indie's where it's at.
Yeah.
Indie's been where it's at for 20 years. I mean, it's the best writing, the funnest characters is an indie.
But it's funny you say that, because this past week on Wednesday, I was so excited because I read that Mandrake the Magician was coming out, and it was Steambot Comics or something like that. It was some weird company, and I was like, oh my god, new Mandrake the Magician. Like, I wonder what they're going to do. Are they going to bring back Lothor? Is it going to,
Did your voice
are they going
deeper, Blevins? Did your
what?
voice just get deeper?
I don't think so, unless it's my.
Did you hear that? You sound like Mandrake.
Mandarin. Maybe it might have been gas.
Yeah, one of those throat bubble things.
No, like I'm downstairs and the internet has been acting really, really crazy.
I'm downstairs and the internet's acting really crazy. City Councilman Brian Blevins.
Sometimes I just hit it and blow on it and it comes back on.
What's on the agenda? What are we going to vote on today?
I want a Jersey Max.
I want a Jersey Max in the downtown city council.
But yeah, so I was really excited about Mandrake the Magician to try to find out if they were going to get everybody and like bring back the Defenders of the Earth and like all that stuff. And man, they made Mandrake like this punk rock girl with, a purple streak dye in her hair. Like she finds his top hat and like has the power of Mandrake, and it's called Mandrake the Magician, even though Mandrake is not even. It's kind of like the voice from like Dr. Fate's mask.
Well, maybe the real Mandrake will show up and say like, "Where be my hat?"
Maybe, but this is again. It was so bad. Like I read the whole thing, and I was just like, I don't know. Like I read the whole thing the first time, and I was like, all right, maybe I'm just already disappointed in this because it's about like a 16-year-old girl that's a 16-year-old girl that's a thief, like a kleptomaniac. Read it again, and I was like, no, this story is horrible. So
it needs to disappear. It needs a magician to make it disappear.
Yeah, they need to. Yeah, they definitely need to Mandrake the Magician it away. They need to get that kid from Twilight Zone to wish it to the cornfield.
Wish it to the cornfield, Billy Mooney.
Yes.
His daughter, Liliana Mooney, did a voice for me on Cat Scratch. That was the little girl.
Really?
The human Kimberly was Liliana Mooney. So I got to see Billy would bring her to voice recordings sometime.
Okay, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Small world, man.
Yeah.
Craziness. So what's going on in the world of Doug TenNapel?
Oh man, I was lettering. I have to letter 15 pages today on Earthworm Jim 2.
This many.
That many. And I've been doing some cover. Here, I got this. Here's a piece. This is a cover drawing of the leather edition where all that black line stuff is going to be the metal shield sculpted.
Yep.
And then it's got like that little tapestry underneath. It's going to be in leather. And
oh wow.
I'm working with the die sculptor right now, talking back and forth. He's kind of telling me how he does it, so I know how to submit it to him correctly.
That is neat. How do you?
So just working on the book. We're still delivering a few items on Bigfoot Build 2, which is about that's very late now. I have to send out the free PDF to my backers, and then I think that's the last item that goes out to them. All the books delivered, and then Earthworm Jim 2. I'm trying to prep for printing because that delivers in February, so I have to have all the items in by December 1st, 2nd-ish. So that's really just like a month. So I'm like, I got a month to finish all this caca. Quick,
man! I was watching the last stream that you did. You were the last stream that I caught.
Yeah,
that you did, not the last one you did, but the last stream that I caught was one where you were doing cigars with somebody. I can't remember who it was, but you mentioned that you were going to go. Yeah, you're going to go straight into Bigfoot Build 3 and then straight into Earthworm Jim 3. No breaks in between.
Yep. I mean, it's gonna go slow. So when I say no breaks in between, I'm gonna give myself all the time I need to write and draw, book 3 of Bigfoot Bill. It'll take me probably the first 6 months of next year. I'm in a total kind of overworked mode. So I'm ready to slow down now after. So both books did 2 books. After that, on book 3, I'm going to take a little more time on each one. So I'm just going to kind of go slow, because book 3, I have to properly set up the end of the whole series on both books by book 3. Mm-hmm. So in a way, I have to write out the whole plot for book. If I wrap it on book 4 or book 5, or what, I don't even know if I can even wrap it on book 3, but I have to nail that ending and then reverse engineer it into book 3. So it's going to take a lot more. It's easier to do the first 2 books where it's kind of like, just set up the world. Okay. Now it's set. And then you gotta finish that thing right. So I've always known where these books ended, but it doesn't make it good until you write it,
Yeah. So are you trying to get both out in 2021, or is just the focus on Bigfoot Bill 3 for 2021 and Earthworm Jim 3 2022?
It'll be really tough to do Earthworm Jim 3 in 2021 because Earthworm Jim 2 is going to come out in February of 2021. So I'm already under the gun on that one. So you can see I'm already slipping about a month on each book is my slip, because I was going to do 2 books a year. That means one every 6 months.
Yep.
Well, I'm already about 2 months off after 4 books. So it's taking me a little longer. It's taking me about 7 months per book is what I really need to. And that's hauling ass. So it should be about 8 months per book.
What's the fatigue like, for creators out there that want to strive for what you're doing, and a lot of the bigger names that are just really like spending all their time generating their own products? I mean, what's the fatigue like? What's the stress like? That is that what causes the delay?
The stress is worse than the physical fatigue, because your mind is just always turning on. Hey, Billy. Uncle Billy.
Shoot, speaking of stress.
Yes. Speaking of high blood pressure, going to blow up right before us.
Full speed Tucci.
What'd I miss?
We're talking about the depressing part of
Niall just asked how I deal with stress and pressure, what fatigue is like. And so for me, the fatigue didn't really catch up to me until I started doing this for 2 years. So that's how long it took to hit me. And it was really after I finished the main art on Earthworm Jim 2 about 2 months ago that's when I went offline. You'll notice, Brian, I wasn't doing any shows, and I was just like, I want to spend time with my family, and I want to do anything but draw a comic right now and write. So, and that's a real bad time to work when I'm in like shutdown mode. So for me, and for beginning artists out there, I hate to say it, but you have to get good at drawing and writing even when you're uncomfortable doing it, or you can't give into that all the time. You have to put it off for a certain amount of time, right? So kind of exercise some strong will to just plow through a couple of difficult moments, and that's something that my crews had to deal with too, right? Because if I'm doing 160 pages every 6 months, then I have 2 different colorists. So I'll be pounding out 160 pages to one colorist, Catherine Garner in the UK. Bigfoot Bill is Gabe El Taib. Again, you slam 160 pages on them. Like that's just 10 books, out of DC or something. So it's more training the crew and making sure that they're like on the team, and I'm listening to them going like, can I send you more pages? And I have a few notes, on these pages, and then I have to letter them all, and that's what I'm in right now in Earthworm Jim 2, like lettering the whole book. And really that's my most important writing moment, is when I letter the book, it'll end up being like my third edit. And really when I want to punch up the humor, make sure all of the gags are just singing, like just the right words and timing, because, balloons, you can time things out and, have it kind of pace and put the acting in the balloon. So I don't want to blow through that. And so when I say 15 pages a day, I'll actually give myself permission to slip on the balloons in a way that I never give myself permission on the penciling or inking. If I set to a pencil a day or pencil and ink a day, that's the way it's going to be. So, but in a way, getting used to just not drawing when you feel like it, that just will not work for my schedule ever. So I kind of make a deal with myself. Look, get through this thing and then take as much time as you want before the next book. So I can wait 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. I've given myself permission.
Is that like the part where it's like a job? Those days where you're like, I just got to muscle through this.
It never feels like a job. I mean, it's always the best damn. Actually, that's what's weird is to sit here and draw and write is incredibly fun and incredibly joyous. It's when I have to do like backer emails and figure out my accounting, like send the receipts into beloved Miss TenNapel and talk to the printer about this deadline. That's when it becomes a job. It's the publishing and crowdfunding side that is not, in my initial talent set and what I've been doing for 20 years. That's the weird new thing where I feel like kind of a fish out of water.
Gotcha. I know that like this is a far off time period. Like you're already talking about like going into 2022 with Earthworm Jim. Have you thought to yourself like, hey, look, maybe after this 3 and 3 series is done, like maybe I just write something and let somebody else do it.
Yeah.
Like give up I don't want to say the creative control, but the art and everything else like that. Is that something that you
definitely never on Earthworm Jim or Bigfoot Bill, but there's other books that I could write. And I have a couple other artists that I've been talking to, a couple of buddies that I'd be glad to do that as a break. But even still, I'm actually doing something different in my spare time this time. I have a new studio I'm about to move into next week, and I'm going to do some fine art. So nice. I'll be doing non-comic stuff. And the other thing is I'm looking for ways to kind of, so it shakes up my day, right? Where I can just sit there and look at a big piece of paper and draw my goofy, cartoony architecture with giant ink brushes. And it's just not trying to tell a story, it's more a beautiful thing that needs to exist on its own. And I'm going to plan to do an art show here in Tennessee. And that's way more Instagram driven. So it'll be like taking pictures on Instagram instead of doing YouTube and Facebook content. So it's more, I'm shaking up the entire workday. And then I also have a couple of little animated shorts that I'm working on with another group of friends. That's a whole other discipline, right? That we're going to do and put those little 45-second, 1 minute test shows that we're going to see what comes of that. So that is going to affect the schedule on the third book of Bigfoot Bill and Earthworm Jim.
Well, having now done it with Kickstarter now in the Indiegogo, have you noticed obviously I guess the COVID has definitely messed a lot of things up for everybody. You know, people are still spending money, but maybe not to the degree that they were before. Do you still think you're going to keep the same philosophy, maybe with Bigfoot Bill, to go Kickstarter and Indiegogo, or do you think you're going to just go with one of them this
after
next time?
Earthworm Jim raised so much on Kickstarter and so little on Indiegogo with this second book? I need to digest that and see what I'm going to do.
That's why
because that is small titties. So I'm just trying to look at kind of what do you want to, and like, for instance, a big test that I have to do at the end of the whole thing is I compare the backer lists of the two campaigns and do a name match and see who got in on Bigfoot Bill on Indiegogo and Earthworm Jim on Indiegogo, and who flipped over to Kickstarter, because I was never looking to flip people to Kickstarter. I always wanted to grow the audience on Kickstarter. So if all that happened is they traded from Indiegogo to Kickstarter, then I would just go ahead and launch on Indiegogo.
Or
So
maybe they didn't know that Indiegogo was coming.
That's true. I got a couple of weird emails from people about that. So definitely I change it up so much that I'm confusing my backers. But the other thing is, Earthworm Jim 1 was just a blockbuster, 800 grand. And that thing went viral. It went viral to a point that Indiegogo called me on the phone and said, "What are you doing? We don't understand." Like, they've never seen it before, having in one day 150 grand come in after it was already out for 30 days. They're like, "What happened?" And I was just trying to figure it out, and it went viral. Well, then I started running my business numbers with that virality in mind, and the book 2 did not go viral. So it's still going to raise about a little over half of what the first one did, which I'm not going to complain if I make $500,000 or pull in $500,000. But that kind of difference between books is very difficult to time a business and figure out what to do. You just look at all these moving parts and go, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
How much of that?
What's the difference of this book to that book, do you think, though? For how did the first one go viral? Did the right people get in spreading it? Did it go viral on Instagram, things like that?
It did.
Websites
went
publishing.
It means people that are way outside of my audience found it. And when I look at the backer list, and none of those people were on Bigfoot Bill 1, you know what I mean? It makes you think. You go, where did these people come from? And a lot of those.
It's a legacy title, Doug. I mean,
yeah, that's what I mean. A bunch of video game guys. I had Oni G would tweet it, and he has 1 million or 2 million people in his social networks. It's going you can't plan for that. And the other thing is, because those people are just legacy nostalgia buyers, they're just going to come in for the $25 book. They're not going to come in at the $100 or the $1,000 original page level. That's not it. They just want to check the box. I got my Earthworm Jim book. So that's another thing that you look at and you just go, well, how do I plan? Because Billy knows this. When you're figuring out what tier, what are you going to charge? What tiers do you even have offered? You're trying to guess, what do people want? What can I, turn them on to? And a whole lot of stuff went wrong on the Earthworm Jim 2 campaign on Indiegogo, where, for instance, I think the title, I didn't do, what's it called? The SEO, the kind of internet savviness of the words that you used, even to describe the individual tiers. I didn't craft them the way I did other campaigns. So even when I look up Earthworm Jim crowdfunding or whatever on Google, the original Earthworm Jim comes up still above Earthworm Jim 2. And sometimes Bigfoot Bill comes up before it. So Bigfoot Bill 2. So it's there's a lot of stuff going on where it's not being found. It's difficult. I don't entirely know what to do about it, but and the other thing is, I haven't had time to craft the marketing and the campaign side of this thing, because I've been spending so much time drawing writing and drawing the book. I'm just working my ass off. So
now having a property like Earthworm Jim, I mean, we've talked about it several times. You've been on the show many times, and we all know it's a worldwide sensation. It's been in every form of media that you can imagine. You know, when you start putting on a new project like this, does like the comic book news websites, the IGNs, the things like that, do they reach out to you?
Zero.
Really? I'm surprised.
I think I'm on a blacklist over there.
Oh,
Certainly at IGN for sure. Certainly at Comic Book Resources. Certainly at the bigger ones. I'm on the no-no list for sure. So they're not going to ever reach out. They're not going to ever. And if they do a piece on me, it's going to be a hit piece about you know what. So
yeah.
Do you think it was like? Do you think it was just adding the number 2 into the Earthworm Jim 2? Like, do you think that just that number 2?
It's something different than that, Brian. It's people can't even find it. Like they're not. I'm looking at the traffic and they can't even see it.
Well, I've experienced that actually. When it was first coming out and I was on Indiegogo, I actually plugged in Earthworm Jim 2 and it didn't even come up right away. I had to scroll down. Now the Earthworm Jim 1 came up.
Yeah.
But then I actually scrolled down to a few lines and then it was there. And I actually questioned myself and I went back up. I'm like, did I spell it right?
Yeah.
Did I spell it wrong? And
Niall,
I didn't.
happen to me. So that's in the SEO, and that's something that all your people who
what's SEO stand for?
Search engine optimization.
So it's how everyone gets their searches up on Google, and just it does a lot of other stuff. It's almost
tons of metadata.
Yeah, when it's talked about or on any other thing, it's all cross-referencing it and it starts pounding it up. It's just easier for people to find. It's how anything is found on the internet. Everything is being reorganized to be pointed at you. So for whatever reason, the Earthworm Jim 2 campaign isn't finding people even who are looking for Earthworm Jim, which is strange.
So how much, like, when you look at it, like obviously you had this plan coming out, and I guess you had a bar that was going to be set.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, look, like I need to at least hit this amount of money.
Yeah.
So that's my goal, right?
Yeah.
Did you go from there and then deduct money from, like, okay, it's COVID, so I'm going to lose 15%, or I'm going to lose.
I'm telling you, it's not COVID. I'm telling you, it is not COVID. So, but I do reverse engineer a pretty safe number. So for me, if I could get half was the finish line I wanted to cross, and I'm definitely going to hit that. I think there's like less than 2 weeks left in the actual campaign. Then it goes into in demand. I'll definitely hit that. And we've already hit 5,000 backers. So more than half of the backers are already here. It's just, it doesn't add up. I don't understand it. I'm okay with it though. You know, I can't complain when you raise $500,000, you can't complain. I'm still probably the number 3 or number 4 highest raise, on the book, but it's just, there's no way. There may be a way for me to get it to perform like the first one. I just didn't crack it. I don't understand how to do that. And that's just, there's a side of all this crowdfunding that is about marketing, that is about, and I sit down with marketing guys all the time. I have a lot of friends that are deep in online marketing, like big guys. And they all said, we're trying to figure it out, but you basically have to go live online some more. Because another thing you'll notice, I'm not doing the daily shows. That was a huge hit. That could account for like $100,000 if you look at my past numbers. I don't know what it is, but it's not something I have the time to fix is the problem. It's like, you just got to go forward with it. But it affects a lot of other stuff. Cause like, I'm not gonna be able to do on Earthworm Jim 1, I think I printed 12,000 books, that we definitely went through. And on this one, it's going to be half, it'll be a little more than half.
Now, if you don't mind
so
me
then
asking,
if people need book 2,
and
they find it, what are they going to do? I'm going to run out of those books and I have to go and pull the trigger on a second print run for book 2, which is again, managing inventory is another bizarre thing that my business is just now stepping into. Is where are they being housed? These are huge, heavy books. It's not like a bunch of little floppy somewhere.
Yeah. Now, you don't mind if you don't mind me asking, like with all the drama and the debacle that happened with CG and stuff like that. I mean, do you think that has had an effect on some of that as well?
You know, I definitely see.
Or are you seeing the same names?
It's the same names, so it's not.
Okay.
I don't think there's any new problem with that, and and that problem was cooked in the books even back on Earthworm Jim 1. I lost $25,000 on that campaign, so I just don't think those people, because you can always see in the comments or when I get an email back from someone, I already know who those people are by the way they talk. So, and they're all names that I recognize. These aren't new converts of hatred to me. They're old converts of hatred. But even that, you can't deny the power of CG, because that is just huge marketing. I mean, that is in and of itself. You don't have to spend money on marketing. If you have 100 or 10,000 views, Ethan averages on a show, that's 10,000 nightly viewers. That is a marketing plan that is extremely successful. And I can't touch that, you know? But it also makes it a completely different business than what I'm doing. It's apples and oranges. What they're doing, you know, if every comic creator had to come up with a show where you're entertaining enough to hold 10,000 people a day, you're not going to make it in comics. And so that was never my message. My message is, what about the guy who can barely even put two words together on camera? Well, you do have to get on camera, and you have to do your best, because that might be the difference between 5,000 and 10,000, let's say. But the idea that you have to do that group, that is one successful group, and what they do just for them, that is not going to work for everyone. And I've always said this, is if that's what it's going to take to save comics, and if that's the way forward for like 200 titles, we're dead. We're dead. It has to work some other way. So I'm over here trying another way.
That's it. You know,
but there is still a big question, right?
Yeah.
There's a huge question out there. Is there a legitimate comic business out there? Is there one? And I don't know if people buy anything outside of social influence on YouTube, Twitter, crowdfunding, all of that stuff. It's like, it's also social influence.
Well, that's a big thing right there. Social influence is huge. You know, if you talk Comicsgate, right? If you get on Ethan's show and he likes your product and pushes it, it does very well. You know, even some of the retweets. If you just look at social media in general with influencers, if you can get, you know, if you get Gem Mint to like your character, and you say you have a sculpture out there, you know, a statue of Earthworm Jim, if he likes it and people say, you know, watch his video and he says this is the thing to get, it's going to sell. I mean, the power of influencers is unbelievable. And I mean, they get behind you, and they can make or break you. They truly can.
Yeah, I haven't been on Nick Rekieta's show yet, but like if I go on with Rusty Cage or Razor Fist, these are huge audience guys. Sometimes, what's his name? Ian Miles Chong will tweet it. And you see a spike. I was on the Steven Crowder show. His show has 6 million subscribers. Our show had,
and it was so good.
Yeah, it had like 300,000 views. I think I made 30 grand in one day on that show. So I'm just saying, like, you got to go out and play. I'm still learning on that side, and I'm not willing to convert my life into living online. And that's what all my marketing guys are going, Doug, you should have a TikTok account. That's where all the eyes are. Double the eyes are on TikTok right now.
What would you do on TikTok?
Huh?
What would you do on it?
Oh, you just do the same videos. Just do videos of you working, and you do a short edit, little tiny TikTok.
Do a drawing and then an undraw and then a draw and an undraw.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
all the marketing guys are going, there's double the eyes on TikTok right now than on YouTube. So YouTube's huge, TikTok's bigger. So they're going like, Doug, you should go on TikTok. And I'm going like, I'm not going to go on TikTok. You know?
TikTok's only your phone, though, right?
Yeah.
My son goes on TikTok. TikTok's only on your phone, right?
It's on mobile devices and stuff. Yeah, but I mean, and those are like quick snippets. They're timed videos. You can't host a show on there, but you could draw like she or something, or do like a segment of like you roughing, and then it goes to you.
And Billy, the numbers on it are outrageous. As far
I'll do that. I'll start doing that. My son's always on it. He's like, "You got to do TikTok." I'm like, "All right, I guess."
Tell your son to run it. Tell your son, look, you're going to come take a movie of me every time I'm sitting at this table, and I'm going to do a little talk, a little night. Uncle Billy does a little.
How long are those questions?
Next thing you know, Billy's doing all the weird dances and shit.
That's right.
Like 12 seconds,
I'll be doing the Trump dance, man.
That's right.
Yeah, what's crazy is that the TikTokers, like, they will join everything because all of the content is only 12 seconds long.
Yeah.
So
Right,
it's not like you have to invest. Yeah, you don't have to invest,
I prefer my OnlyFans. I do a lot of feet photos.
Yeah.
And boy, I tell you, the inmates pay real good.
Yeah, and another big one that I haven't really milked is
I gotta go. Looks like I gotta go. I think my son hurt himself. It looks like he might have broke his nose. I gotta go.
Oh, geez.
no.
All right.
Hope everything's okay.
Yeah, pray for that guy.
That poor kid's nose.
He might have broke his nose.
Again. That might be the second or third time.
Yeah, it shouldn't have had to tell him twice.
I know, he can't just leave us like that. I think my son broke his nose. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm going, thanks, Billy.
People need to get their priorities straight. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. I wish my son was active enough to break his nose.
Family second.
His nose broken. So back on marketing. That's all. That is an all-consuming job in and of itself. And I've got a marketing guy who he's on my team. He spends my Facebook money. We buy Facebook ads, and we're always just milking, every angle on that. But I have him to take care of that, so I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so do you okay, so the way, I know you probably don't have the full idea panned out, but like when you had Earthworm Jim 1, the first, the launch of Cow, which was great.
Yeah.
Then now you have Fight the Fish, and it kind of goes through the storylines of the video games, which I think is incredible, right? Yeah. The only problem is now, like, you don't have another game to go to. Like, it's like Earthworm Jim 3D.
And I'm not doing 3D, but there's a lot of levels I haven't touched. Like the next book I've committed to do, the meat level's going to be in it, and the nice. Peter Puppy one where you whip him to get him.
Oh, nice.
To live. So there's a lot of gameplay, and of course, the end of the book will be, the Queen's Lair and all that. So,
God, man, I'm psyched.
Yeah,
you sold me. And do you think there's going to be because of the reception to Indiegogo? I know that you saved the black and white leather for specifically for the Indiegogo, because that was really, like, big people were on there. Like, it was a huge treat for them to be able to have that leather edition. Do you think that you might just pop up a 30-day Kickstarter that's just the black and white leather for Kickstarter?
Probably not on Kickstarter, because I don't think they'd let me do that, because that's more of an in-demand move. Mm-hmm. So there's policies inside of Indiegogo and Kickstarter where they're in conflict with each other. If you do just a perfectly redundant campaign, you have to offer something new on both campaigns. And that was some of the drama I had with Indiegogo internally when I launched Earthworm Jim 2, and I let them have it. Like, I was pretty furious with them. What happened was I had launched Earthworm Jim 2 with the leather book, right? Which was going to be, that's a very expensive book. Those things are outrageous in cost, and they're going to be the most beautiful book I know how to make, right? Well, I submitted it to them and it was going to be ready to go live in 3 days. They flipped it to in demand without my permission and said, and they just can't, this guy named Jake, who works there, he's the head of their in demand stuff, said, I put it in demand for you. I said, no, this is going to be a campaign. And he said, oh, you can't do that. You can't just rehash a Kickstarter. So I felt a little grief for being on Kickstarter from Indiegogo. I don't know if that's what's happening. I could be projecting, but whatever it is, this guy was talking to me like I was dirt. So I went back to my main guy, Joel Hughes. I mean, Billy knows this guy too.
No, yeah, I want to get in touch. Yeah, yeah, good.
He's the main good guy over there. And I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
him
yeah.
and said, I don't expect this kind of treatment from you guys. You know, I'm now the number 2 book on your platform. I didn't go into indie comics to have some guy, you know, so 24 hours before the campaign launched, Joel went in and hand copied all of my tiers into another campaign and fixed it all, and then was able to put it back in a normal campaign mode. So that's huge credit to Joel. I said, I don't ever want to work with that Jake guy again.
Joel saved the day.
Joel's a good guy.
There goes
now
my
they're like, Jake who?
But there's some slack over there between Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and I don't want to get between it. I'm like, look, I got a business on both platforms now, so you guys got to get along because I'm on both platforms. And then it's my job, I guess, to make them different enough from each other. So flipping just taking the leather over to Kickstarter wouldn't work unless I put something else unique about the campaign on there.
I want to apologize for jumping out.
What happened to your son?
My son, he had an ice pack on his face. He's like, yeah, I just scrunched my nose. And I'm like, all right. And 2 years ago, he actually broke the skull. He broke his skull right here in between. He broke his nose was sticking out. So I thought he did it again. And it looks like he might have broken it, but it's just cartilage broken nose, not the bone. So I'm like, you're
all right.
Yeah, all right. He's like, yeah, I'm all right.
Keep an eye on him, Billy.
Spray some Windex on it.
He's a wrestler, so what are you going to do, you know? Same thing with me. I was a hockey player. What are you going to do?
So Billy, do you feel like you can still do another She and a Zombie Sama that's a simultaneous release on both platforms?
No, we're not. Nope. No.
They're not going to.
I have some.
You can't do that, no mo.
Well, the thing is that we see with us, it's nothing like your campaign, but I got some serious problems personally with one of the platforms.
Yeah.
Of just what happened with us in the campaign. Yeah. I'm not going to mention it, but when we launch, I'm not going to mention who, but when we launch Shihaikyo in a few weeks, it's going to be exclusively on Indiegogo.
Okay.
We are working things through, but we will then, I guess, because we had over 1,000 backers on Kickstarter. Now, we only did a 21-day campaign, too, with She on Kickstarter and Indiegogo initially. Then it went into demand.
Yeah.
But it's just too much work for Debbie. So we're going to use CrowdOx. I think, we've had some good meetings with them, and we're just going to do Indiegogo, which I'd rather, I like I said, for her, she does all that stuff anyway. For the most part, I'm the face, I'm talking, I'm writing all the updates and everything, but it's so stressful, especially the time we waste in fulfillment, because it gets so confusing with who got what on what platform, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to do, we're going to go Indiegogo. Again, once it's a well-oiled machine, we will do an exclusive on Kickstarter, but there's also going to be a secret perk on Indiegogo where the Indiegogo backers can get that too.
Sure. That's fair.
But,
I'm just wondering about your strategy.
He's just being lazy.
No, it's just too much work. It's
bad.
I'm
planning on doing 4 campaigns a year, 2 on Kickstarter, 2 on Indiegogo, and I can't keep up with that. It is too much chaos, and you're having to separate them from each other. And look at it this way, I'm splitting up my marketing efforts too. If I just put it all on Indiegogo or on Kickstarter, then you just pound it all into that. So I really want to expand on Kickstarter. I'm trying really hard, and Kickstarter does not help at all.
Yeah, and maybe it was the culture back then of who was running it or whatever, but we had hit our goal.
Hey, and Billy, it was never that chick. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't think she ever even knew we existed on there.
I don't know. Well, all I know is that, and maybe if it wasn't any individual, but
you didn't have blue hair, she didn't know you existed.
Yeah, we never once were a project we love. We're not even a project we like. Not even a project we love. We were never. And again, we hit our goal.
I was a project they tolerated. I got that title.
Yes.
Project.
And it's just too much work. And I really like the Indiegogo. And again, I love all our backers, of course. But I don't know, something about like Indiegogo follows me on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Kickstarter doesn't. And that guy Joel reached out to me one time because I was saying it's just a lot of work to do them both simultaneously. And which would we go? And Joel reached out and said, give me a call. let's talk. Well, I'm here. What do we want? We want your business. What can we do to help?
Yeah.
And that was great. So,
Yeah.
That's it.
I've talked to Joel on every campaign. I've never talked to anyone on any of my Kickstarter campaigns. I've never talked to a human being at Kickstarter, which is weird.
It is
weird.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe they don't have humans.
Not even after they fired the girl.
It wasn't that. I think a lot of those politics was just overplayed. I mean, the politics were definitely there. Don't get me wrong.
He was really tall. Remember Doug from San Diego? Yeah.
It was extreme blue hair land over there, but still, I just think they have so many campaigns. They have so many more over there, like 3 times more, that they just don't have the people even to cover them. So you're nothing. It's very easy just to fall through the cracks.
Well, it's easier. And again, I don't know. I want to keep it simple, stupid, and again, but it's just questionable because again, it's just too much work, I think, for Debbie. And we are going to be doing our own fulfillment. We're hiring someone full time.
Good.
Yep. And we're going to have 2 2 part-timers working. So we'll have 1 full-timer, Debbie, 1 full-timer, and then a couple of part-timers. And then when it comes time to fulfillment, we'll do what we've been doing, and all my friends coming and helping us out. Have a couple of fulfillment events. And now we know what we're doing, because you know what it's like when it's so big. You know what I mean? You're like, wow. I mean, and not big like yours or Ethan's.
You reach a level of success.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's bigger than your family.
Yeah. Herrenberg says Camilla Zhang was replaced at Kickstarter by a new gatekeeper, Brooklynite named Oriana Lecker.
Oh, we gotta do some research.
That's the first. I didn't even know they had. That's the first. Thanks, Herrenberg. I didn't know there was someone.
Oh yeah, see, tell Joel to add. That's why I have to do Junkyard Done. I'm sorry, I never read the comments. I got to read them because I don't look at them, because they scroll by so fast. But he said, tell Joel to add. If I can add that, Niall, you mind? See, we're definitely going to do that. We're going to talk to Joel because we had a backer who had 2 addresses, and Debbie didn't know who to send it to, and one was an APO, and then one was a Baltimore address or a Maryland address.
Yeah.
And Debbie reached out to him and he said, "Oh no, Indiegogo does not send to the Army post office, for the soldiers, for our servicemen and women out there who are overseas and Kuwait or wherever they are."
We had that same problem. So what I do for my backers is we have a lot of overseas problems, but a lot of them have like dual citizenship. So they want their mail, change their address to America from another country. And Indiegogo won't let you change your address once you pay for it either. Mm-hmm. So you have to either cancel the donation, or what we have them do is we have them change their address, but keep the wrong country in there. So it's an American address. It'll have the city, correct city and zip code and everything, but it'll say like France, right? Well, shipping and fulfillment, we'll look up that address and already know, that it's being shipped to whatever, Bakersfield.
Right, Badger Comics. We buy Badger Comics. Sorry.
And then so that's how we deal with it on a backer by backer levels. We just have them. But the APO thing's a problem because we have military guys.
CV. What's this? Zippy the Unicorn. Billy, I can send you my CV. What's that?
Curriculum vitae.
A what?
His curriculum vitae.
What does that mean?
That's what a CV is. I don't know.
What is a curriculum vitae?
It's what professors put on their accomplishments that year of books they read and points they made. Yeah, curriculum vitae is a CV.
He wants to send you his application to work for your.
It was Zippy the Unicorn was trying to sound snobby.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so crazy, you guys talking about the APO and FPO. Like, so you guys know I had the game store forever.
Liar.
And back when I was doing comic books, I had a huge, I have an Air Force base right outside my front, right outside my front door.
Sure.
And I never had a problem. I would actually just contact the base, and they would just send somebody to collect all the APOs, and they would just they would send C-130s with drop ships to wherever the fulfillment center was. And there was never an issue. And what's really insane about it is the shipping was I just paid the shipping to the Air Force base. I didn't have to, it wasn't anything crazy. I sent all comic books, board games, Magic the Gathering, all that stuff overseas. And again, like it was just like I was sending a package across town, and I'd send it to the desert all the time.
I don't know what the problem is. It's something big and legal, like probably they can't get returns or something if it goes over there or something. I don't know.
No.
International's nuts.
So with your marketing stuff, are you doing PPO or or PPP, price per click?
Yeah,
or
sometimes I do
PPP,
price per clicks. We've had a lot of luck driving likes is another thing that we do, but price per click, that's my problem is, so I'm always looking at my profit margin, right? On a certain amount of money is going to be the percentage of book that I make. Well, what happens when you get on Facebook and to get someone to look at your campaign, you're paying your entire profit margin.
Right.
Well, you Facebook lets you end your ads, which is great. So we end our ads, if they start getting too expensive. And then sometimes if you just dog food out and go for the cheaper pay per click, they might be non-desirable people, like people that aren't really going to back your book. So for me, it's pretty simple. We're just looking for people who have at one time liked Earthworm Jim and at one time liked Kickstarter or Indiegogo, or the word crowdfunding is probably that. And I learned that from BackerKit. That's all BackerKit does. If you go to BackerKit, but they're very good at it. I'm just saying, like BackerKit, when they did, because Earthworm Jim was through BackerKit, the marketing was not the back end of it. But what they would do is they would make 20 ads and spend, I think, $50 an ad, and see which of those 20, they'd narrow it down to say 3 to see the top performers. And so each ad is different, like different image, different wording, different audience. And they'll narrow it down to 3 ads, and then they'll run all your money through those 3. And that's by the way, I found out every marketing person on Facebook does that.
And maybe I just did it differently. Like I saw when they had like the high traffic areas, they base that high traffic off of the number of clicks that happened during that time frame. So what I do is I didn't post during the click time period, because most of the time that's just people that are curious. Right. And I basically put all the price per click in the time where they don't click. Right. So I get maximum amount of visage, and most of those people would just go Google, to see what the item was that I was selling, or what my store was, or something like that. I would do the reverse.
I think the marketing can be overplayed because we're all looking for a magic bullet. There's not a magic. The bad news is that's because all my friends go, I want to talk to you about Facebook marketing. I'm going, well, first of all, prepare to be disappointed because it's not magic, Do you have
any hopes to get broken? Because if so, bring them.
And sometimes it's just a break-even call. Like I just,
Jim?
You should go on Gemman's show, Doug. Have you been on?
Do you have a toy or a statue?
Nah, he does just interview shows.
I'll get on Jem. Reach out.
They're on.
Jem's got Jem's close to 100,000 subs, I think.
Just
he had me on there.
That's all.
What a great guy.
I know I didn't win the Thanos statue, and I cried all weekend.
We'll snap and take those tears away, Brian. Yeah, I'd love to be on your show, Gem Mint Collectibles. Reach out to me on Twitter.
I just invited you on his show, just letting you know that.
Yeah, I just invited myself. Like he asked me. Yes, I will gladly come on your show. We'll talk about the Earthworm Jim action figure line. Come on, I got
gladly pay him Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Hamburger.
Doug,
have you tried the Impossible Burger, Doug?
What's that?
Have you tried the Impossible Burger yet?
Oh God, enough of that.
I will die before I put a vegetarian burger in my mouth.
I love bringing it up. Billy's just like, shut up.
I'm shocked. Billy, you're trying to brainwash us. Did you notice that?
I do notice that, yes.
You go to Burger King and everyone's doing a veggie burger. I'm like, this is a Bill Gates chip in everybody's head situation here. That doesn't make sense that a Burger King, home of the flame-broiled Whopper, would be trying to sell you a non-beef burger.
Well, again, how much beef is really in their burgers to begin with?
We're going to get into this crap. You want to get into this? I mean, I don't want to eat anything that's supposed that isn't meat that's supposed to taste like meat? And what kind of shit are they putting into it, chemicals and all, to make it taste like meat?
Right.
How much artificial flavor? You tell me
breasts and
blood from
The blood of the innocent. The blood of the innocent makes it taste like
yeah, Brian. Next thing you know, they'll be making Dr. Pepper without meat.
Dude, shut your mouth.
They'll be making Dr. Peppers without the blood of doctors.
Yeah, we know what the 23rd flavor is, Doug, and you need to be quiet.
That's right.
Dr. B, are you on the witness protection program or what? What's going on, bro?
No, I'm not on the witness protection
Then
program.
what are you on?
Oh, is my voice really low again?
It's slow and low.
I feel like you sound like
Oh my god.
Down here again.
you sound like Andre the Giant.
He sounds like those Democrats that voted for Trump and didn't want anyone to know. And he's in shadow.
What's going on with my
Voice distortion.
That's ridiculous.
I'm City Councilman Brian Blevins.
Let's hope so, City. Let's hope so, right?
Free Dr. Pepper machines for everyone.
Yes, Dr. Blevins, free Dr. Pepper.
Get out and vote, people. Vote.
Get out and vote. Rocky, your voice is your vote.
Yeah, your voice.
Your voice is murder.
So let's take a look at this bad boy here. The
Look at that
leather,
thing.
black and white leather.
Earthworm Jim 2 comic plus black and white leather.
Beautiful.
We've got 1,200 backers. I've got 3,000 over on Kickstarter, Billy.
That's crazy.
Earthworm Jim 1 had 9,000 backers.
Wow.
So none of it makes sense. Anyways,
Well, you
first
also
tier
had
there-
that, like I said, the thing that you had the Comicsgate support, and then that kind of went out the window.
yeah, but that was gone, dude. That was gone forever. It was never. I never got the full backing on Earthworm Jim, and Bigfoot Bill 2, which was non-Comicsgate, raised 100,000 more than Bigfoot Bill 1, which was Comicsgate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's none of the math is going to add up on that stuff. I can't make it make sense.
Will this
I
book
love the
have the
owl on the
built-in
leather
cloth
cover.
bookmark? that cloth bookmark? What do you call
Yeah.
this?
We're doing a cloth bookmark. That's the next tier. I think it's 140,000. We do a cloth book. No, it's going to be ribbed back, and then at 150 we do a cloth bookmark.
Ooh,
So
ribbed.
we'll get there.
Ribbed for your reading pleasure.
Ribbed for your reading pleasure.
Oh,
It's going to have 150 pages of black and white art, and all of my pencils and inking notes on black and white art. It's a little bit of lecture, a little bit of the art. The cover's leather. It's going to have a new Alejandro Mirabal black and white end sheets. It's got gold gilded edges. It's going to have a huge metal shield stamped on the front, which I'm still sculpting, but and it's going to be like a leather with embossing and debossing, all the stuff that you'd expect from my books. 9 by 12 inch. It's huge. And it's going to be a tiny print run. Each book is signed with an Earthworm Jim sketch, and it's numbered. So this is the first time I've done numbered books.
wow.
And it's going to be a very low print run because it's an expensive book. So it's going to be
How low, Doug, is a very low print run to you?
it'll be under 1,000.
Wow.
So it might be, if I had to guess, I would guess 600, 700 books,
Quarter Black Ferret.
which drives the value up. So I'm just saying it's
Mhm.
At your tier levels, though, are very, very reasonable.
yeah, people
Very
are buying
like
they're
5
buying the
books.
multi-books. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
5
for
books.
$125, you get 5 books, and it's not like they're floppies either. I mean, they're books.
These are 160 page
Yeah.
books.
I mean, that's
It's
a
a-
great deal.
It's a huge that right there is like 700 something pages of reading, which is like cheap. I'm telling you, man, you'll sit there and
Yeah.
read these huge books.
Lovely.
Yeah, I did 2 sketchbooks on Kickstarter back in 2010 and 11 is what Zippy's talking about. I did 2 of called my sketchbook archives. It's got I scanned all my sketchbooks and put them in. They're like 300-page editions.
Zippy said they were magical, and I believe him. He knows magic.
Oh yeah. He's a magical unicorn.
Yeah.
Look,
so
we're already going up. So thanks guys for backing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and we need to continue pushing this. Earthworm Jim too, man. The next tale in the saga is continued. So if you can back it, push it on your Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you're using.
Throw the link
Let's
out,
keep,
guys.
doing it. Throw the
It
link
all
out.
helps. Talk to your friends about it. I just need people to see Earthworm Jim on there, and they'll know what to do. The Earthworm Jim fans all know what to do.
Yeah. Now, what's it like? Now you have a few kids. Do they ever have new friends or anything that are like, wow, your dad did Earthworm Jim, or even like some of their parents like, oh man, Earthworm Jim.
It's so funny because my kids have no idea how big Earthworm Jim is. I've never schooled them on anything. They see the cartridge in the basement and haven't put it together,
Yeah.
But then my daughter, she goes to college this year, and a professor was just like they don't leave them alone. They're like, Earthworm Jim. They're like, oh, it's just my dad. He's just my dad. Yeah, the family is not really big on, first of all, they're not going to be big on the nostalgia. They're way too young.
Yeah.
But also they're bigger fans of Cat Scratch, my animated series, than they are of Earthworm Jim is more their childhood. And then they've all played the Neverhood, my Clay animated video game. And, it's our age. It's the like 28 to 44 age people that are just I've had people literally start crying about Earthworm Jim because it just brought them back to when they were 6.
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
As Blevins just breaks down, like, I know you weren't going to.
Dude, we tried
Dr. Pepper.
Trusted you, Doug. I trusted
He does
you.
that awkward, like, I can't breathe crying
Hey,
too.
Blevins.
This was the best game ever I played.
Dr. B, we start talking.
Dr. Pepper.
When we start talking Dr. Pepper, Earthworm Jim, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Dr. B. Where's that going?
Well, we already talked about the Last Ronin, Billy. That already came up. Blevins, he's.
We opened on Ronin.
We opened on
Doug
Ronin, bro.
asked what was the stuff that was coming out right
hot
now
this week.
Yeah, and we never got to talk about Strange Academy, which the most recent book was insane.
Don't say anything about it. I haven't read it yet. That's the only mainstream book I read right now.
God, it was so good.
It is really good. I give those guys credit. The writing and the art, it's good.
What about Mandalorian? You guys talk about that yet?
No.
No, we want to get. We want to get the Star Wars girl on the show and talk about Mandalorian. Have you seen the second season, first episode?
I just saw the first episode yesterday.
As did I.
I liked it.
Billy,
I did too. Amazing soundtrack if you pay attention.
Yeah,
But I will for the show for y'all.
Well, I will just say that I thought their Jon Favreau and Cowboy Dave Filoni, I mean, they actually care, unlike some of the other people. Like, that's why every time especially Jon Favreau, like, I mean, that dude's a Star Wars aholic.
Yeah.
And you already knew, like, when they started talking about all the characters that were going to be on the show, as they were filming it, you already knew that they had something huge in mind. And man, the story to begin with, the CGI was off the charts.
Yeah. Oh, they totally upped the freaking budget.
They blew their budget on the first episode for sure.
Yeah,
they probably did. The story was great. The ode, the ode to the things that they had.
Yeah, there were so many references, wall-to-wall references, Tusken Raiders and Banthas, and it's just like they're checking off all the Star Wars fan boxes. It
was insane. And then, of course, they paid it off at the very end, which I thought was perfect. Of course, like, I have a couple of thoughts because of the people that they said were going to be brought up later on in the series, which I want to say, but I don't want to like ruin it or anything. People that
but the episode itself, right? The actual story felt like a hokey late 60s Western show.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Like riding on the horses into the sunset. You know what I'm saying?
Totally intentional.
You're gonna
love it.
A
Western.
You're gonna love it, Billy.
I'm gonna finish The Boys tonight.
Dude, it was almost comical.
Yeah.
it was almost comical. Like, do you remember the Three Amigos at the very end when they go to the town? It's like, you remember when we did that movie, Amigo, Amigo, Amigo? And they're like, oh yeah, let's do that. That's kind of how it felt like that last final battle. Yeah, man, I think they did a great job, and the payoff, the weight was great, and I love how they're calling back to the extended universe. I mean the actual real extended universe.
Is there gonna be another pay-per-view? New episode was a waste. Fight me, Malin.
It was almost as big as a waste as that picture that you drew for that Fraga versus Malin.
Whoa! This just got serious. Holy smokes, folks.
Look at that. He's throwing down.
I'm gonna let you defend yourself real quick, John Malin. But I gotta say, Dan Fraga's Snow White was the greatest sketch on that show.
What? We got to set up a new pay-per-view now. This is a real bout.
And then we got to get Malin
a real
on
bout.
John, you got to come on our show, man. We've been trying to.
We definitely need to have Malin on the show.
Return my phone calls. Jeez.
Yeah. Why won't he come on the show?
I don't know.
So wait, is Malin right or are you guys right?
Ooh. You'll have to see, bro. You got to watch it and then.
The new episode was a waste. He's 100% wrong.
Oh shit!
You got to watch it.
Yeah, there's no room for error. Like, you're just wrong. It's cool though.
Fraga's.
Everybody's entitled to their opinions, no matter how wrong they are, John.
Fraga's a tough guy to beat. That guy's art is nuts.
Fraga's cool, dude.
Man, he did this Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and they had
Blevins is already in a scandal.
Look at that. Councilman Blevins is already in a scandal.
Blevins is already in a scandal.
You see that? Would you like to weigh in on the controversy?
If there's another series you should check out after The Boys, it's Barbarians. Billy would love it. Love it. Excellent war strategies. Lots of killing. Only 6 episodes. Easy to get through.
The most exciting thing I read there was only 6 episodes. That's the most exciting thing anyone can say.
I think the best thing I've watched on TV this year, though, well, first of all, talking to Blevins about it today, I just started watching Cobra Kai, man, last night.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
I binge watched
horrible.
From like probably
I did not like the way the second season ended. I'm not going to give anything away. I just go, it's nowhere near as good as the first season ending is all I'm saying.
Oh, see, I got to the point where the original sensei of Cobra Kai shows up. That's right. I showed
the end doesn't, they tried and it didn't land. It does put your stomach, the drama puts my stomach in a knot too.
Yeah, they jumped the shark with the very, very ending.
Yeah.
What?
The school fight. I went, come on.
Yeah. I'm like, all right.
I do like the making of a bully by the Hawk character, the Mohawk kid.
Oh yeah.
He's like the best part of the whole show, watching him turn, and then now his interaction with his friends and who he's in or out of. That's way more interesting than the love story and all that stuff, because
he literally turned to the dark side.
Yeah,
literally, like you watched him, like maybe that's what the whole whole show about is just.
What I didn't like about the tournament is that you had, now I guess the part of the charm of the original Karate Kid, and I know we're supposed to be talking about your book, but I want to talk about this, is that how Mr. Miyagi was able to get Johnny, the hell's his name, Ralph Macchio, Daniel, with the way he trained him was so special that made him able to compete.
Yeah.
But you see, now you have the other kid, like the kid who becomes a villain, the kid with the cleft lip. He's only been practicing karate, and him and the star, the other kid, Miguel, for a few months.
Yeah.
And they're playing, and now they're fighting karate against dudes that were, like training since they're 7 years old, 6 years old.
Yeah. And all the karate in the show is magic. I mean, no one learns stuff when you have just very out of shape and very scrawny little kids in tournaments and fighting and stuff. You're not gonna. Sorry, kid. You don't do flying kicks in people's faces in a tournament.
Yeah.
It's called Cobra Kai, not Karate Kai.
Yeah. Well. When that fight at the school was the most ridiculous thing. I'm going like, come on, no one.
Like Spider-Man. That's what it was like. The first Spider-Man. I don't know.
I don't know. I tell you what, though, I really do like Johnny Lawrence's character in
Yeah.
Cobra.
Yeah.
I think probably, obviously he wrote the whole series. Like he was the guy who.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, William Zabka. Yeah, absolutely. He wrote the series, pitched it, they took it, and everything.
He's the bad guy, right? In the movie, he was the bad guy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say he's the bad. Never say he's the bad guy.
He was the real Karate Kid in the
Yeah,
Karate
and then he
Kid.
gave LaRusso his trophy at the end, like that guy made that little video. And yeah, man.
Like, dude's just trying to get his girlfriend back, and then there's this kid from Reseda who just shows up.
Man, Reseda in the house, man.
Yeah.
So
he's a great character.
him.
And he's not a great actor, and he's a great character. There aren't a lot of great actors in that whole dang series.
Yeah.
You notice that. I mean, dude, Ralph Macchio's daughter, I'm like, ooh, dude.
I think the kid that plays his son is pretty good, though. Johnny's son.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's good. I like him. I think he's pretty good. But I don't know. Like I said,
I liked him better when he was stealing computers than when he tries to be a hero.
Right.
I think that's kind of the message of the whole thing, too, is like, no one's allowed to be a hero. Like, they're all kind of, turmoil and double crossing themselves. And, you can never really put a peg on anyone. They just when like the main characters are getting along, they're suddenly going to fight. Cause how many times is, Ralph Macchio going to have dinner with this guy? They're hanging out.
Right,
and they're
right. That was
going
funny.
like, okay.
Yeah.
They'll be killing each other pretty soon. That's what they need.
Agree.
They need to kill Ralph Macchio. Then, severe burn his daughter. Then, when she's like all melty face, like Kruger on one side, then we have a show.
Oh,
yeah.
So, what's the best thing you guys
real.
on TV this year?
What'd you say?
During COVID, what's the best thing you guys have watched on television? And there's a lot of shit streaming. For me personally, if I may, it's Kingdom, the South Korean zombie thing.
Yeah,
I think that was great.
I feel that it's getting played out.
What is?
I think so.
I didn't know what it is. Is this
I never even
TV
checked
series?
it out.
Oh my god, it's great! It's brilliant. It's from Korea, and it's dubbed, and it's
Japan with zombies.
This is a series.
Yeah, it's like medieval. It's like medieval, not even medieval, maybe 17th century Korea. Zombie happens.
I'll watch that.
Oh my!
Check
it out, dude. Just watch the first episode, and you'd be like, "What?"
I just podcast Victor Davis Hanson all the time, so I don't even have time to. I just put a earpiece in because I can't be looking up at something. So I gotta. If there's subtitles in that show, Billy, I can't read a whole show.
No, they speak in English.
Okay.
It's dubbed, and it's dubbed very well.
Yeah, John Malin said that he liked The Last Dance, which was the Chicago Bulls. I thought that was a great documentary as well.
Did they talk about now? Is that true? Like he got his father killed, right? Because his gambling debts or something. Is that why?
Was his dad murdered?
His dad got killed in South Carolina.
Yeah, but was it because of like Michael Jordan's gambling debts?
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it was because of that, but it had something to do with gambling gone bad.
I don't think it was that. I don't know. I'd hate to think that's what it was. And
don't put that on him, Billy. Don't you put that on him, Billy?
Well, he's like, put that in the ether. What are you trying to do?
If I start talking
put that evil on me.
I want to watch. He's like, I don't want to ruin it for you, but and then he'll tell me and he'll ruin it for me.
That's not real.
Yes,
Totally real. Like I don't want to tell you.
I've never ruined a show for you.
Well,
unless you did Brian tell me, and I say I don't want to ruin it for you. You say tell me.
You might ruin a comic book or two for me though.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. When I said I don't know,
why just tell him to stop talking in bed? You sound like a married couple.
Yeah.
Like, tell me, and he'll tell me like, man, I didn't want to know that. He's like, you just told me.
You're usually really good about not ruining things. Man, I'm just gonna go create honorable seppuku later.
He didn't tell me who the last Ninja Turtle was in Ronin.
He did not tell me.
Well, talk to him about a half hour. He'll tell you if you didn't see it.
It'll come out.
Oh yeah,
get a couple Dr. Peppers in this guy. And he'll sing.
That is not even real.
You'll
that
sing.
Is not even real.
Councilman Blevins will make you sing.
I'll keep all kinds of secrets. You don't know what I got locked in my mind.
Oh shit.
That makes me sad that you said I ruined something for you, because that definitely is not the truth.
Well, that's what happened yesterday, right? Over the weekend.
What did he ruin? To name the
Hit
book.
a comic book. I'm not going to say. And he's like, I don't want to tell you. I'm like, tell me. And then he told
Well,
me.
if you tell him to tell you, that's not
You
ruining
ruined
it.
it for me.
You ruined it for
Jaws
yourself.
2 for him.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it gets electrocuted at the end. Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, he's like, Brian, what shows you watch? I've been watching Kingdom. I was like, I've been watching Hardcastle and McCormick.
That's right. He did say that.
With the red car, I was like, they all have red cars in that year, Billy. All of them. All of them have.
All y'all have red cars.
So what you're saying is you have a life watching all those Hardcastle and McCormicks.
Bruce
Well,
Willis and
You're
Jason
not working that hard.
Right after you binge watch the box set of Heart to Heart.
Critical Blast is ruining all my favorite movies I haven't seen yet.
Oh my God. I was like,
Come on, man.
that's wrong.
He was dead the whole time, Billy.
I can only watch Spencer for Hire so many episodes.
This is so true. This is so true.
No one comments how LaRusso won the karate match by kicking his opponent in the head, when the ref specifically said at the beginning, no headshots.
And he did. And he said, winner. And it's like, wait a minute. I'm being pissed off at that movie.
Yeah.
It was an illegal hit.
It's a
Have a
TV
good one,
show,
John.
kid. It's a movie. John Malin. Check y'all later. Got to pick some more Fraga out of my teeth.
Oh,
Oh my God.
All right, John. Good to see you, buddy.
Boom.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I just got addicted to a lot of YouTube. You get lost in that. You can just
Yeah.
keep searching and like you watch the weirdest shit. It's crazy.
I'm a big fan of Jengar. He plays War Thunder with all the World War II airplanes. And he's a Dutchman, I think. He's from Holland, and he has all the,
My
the
people.
T-51 Mustang, and he'll do that. And I'll just watch like 4 hours of it every friggin' play. And I'm like, I don't even play these games, man. I'm like, and he's like, yeah, and he's got whip. It's called something called whip. I don't even know what that means. And the whip is this, and I'm like, oh yeah, the whip. Oh, that's right. That's far better than the whip of the
It's far better.
09.
You watch a Dutch guy play an airplane game
Yeah, I don't know. I just
Really?
then I watch that
for 4 hours, Billy?
World of Airplanes or whatever it is.
4 hours. I watch hunting videos. Then I watch plane crashes and stuff.
I watch lectures.
Do you?
Yeah, like Victor Davis Hanson. I did one yesterday with Roger Scruton and some other guy. Oh, Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson's great.
And then, and man, I could barely even follow it, dude. I like the stuff I can barely follow. I'm like, what are these guys talking about, man? I love it.
Listen until I get smart.
Yeah, Victor Davis Hanson lectures on World War II, like stuff I never even heard of before. It's him lecturing a class. Like, this is one of the greatest historians alive. And then
Matthew,
Unbelievable is a podcast I listen to a lot.
you got
It's
I'm
apologetic
gonna
stuff.
start a TikTok channel.
No,
People
See,
arguing.
you won't let me do it, and you're gonna edit it for me.
Son, you got to do this for
Yeah.
your dad. This
Get
is
on
how
that.
you're going to contribute.
then you're gonna pass
Do
me
it
the
for
phone.
your dada.
I'm not gonna pass you.
You are.
Is that
Do
what
it for
is that
Dada.
you, man? It's about me. It's about
You're
putting.
gonna pass me in like 2 minutes.
It's about putting.
Listen to me, kid Poochie.
I'll-
Listen to me, kid. I'll knock those sunglasses off your head.
And follow you.
No,
Listen to me.
I
It's
think
time to quit taking withdrawals from the family. It's time to start putting a deposit in. You can't just take money out. You got to start putting some
See?
in, and you're going to
It's
do a
money out, bro.
TikTok video for your dad. You hear me?
man, where Matthew's going,
I'll
he,
shoot it and you edit it for me.
No.
Yes.
No,
Have him do one of those dances, Matthew.
Yeah.
the renegade.
No, I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna do like draw. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna be like, how do you draw she? I'm like,
First
draw a
of all-
circle,
first
and then
of
like, and then draw she, and it's
First
just
of all,
she.
Draw two
drawing
circles.
doesn't do good on TikTok at all.
I heard
See that?
It
last
does-
time I
I
showed
know
a TikTok
drawing
video,
actually
it got
is,
flagged.
Doug, did you hear that? What if
Here, no,
what if I
wait.
shoot a deer on live?
No,
Dude,
Oh.
that'd be huge.
I gotta film myself. I got a cat. I got the
Probably
media
gonna
center up
take it
there.
down. Dad, you're probably gonna-
Shoot a deer, Billy, and go dig its heart out and
Yeah.
eat it on camera.
Like in Dancing with the Wolves.
Yeah, take a bite of that thing's heart. That would be the biggest Billy Tucci
I have
movie
done
of
that. I did
all.
do that. My first deer kill. I did actually bite into the heart.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm still watching the
It was
chat
terrible.
You bit into the heart on your first deer kill?
The first deer kill.
Yeah, you have to.
I'm like, no, that's what the Indians did.
Yeah, it's
My brother
mandatory.
was looking at me. He's like, you're out of your mind. And I went, it was really tough. It's like this, like, oh.
And it actually tasted better than venison. It tasted better than the deer meat.
No, not at all.
It's not gamey at all.
No, not at all. Oh. But for TikTok, I'll do that to get followers, man.
No.
That was Doc Brown, and he told me to tell Matthew he needs his sunglasses back.
I know, Doc. Hey, those are his badass sunglasses, right? Those aren't cheap. Is that?
Didn't you have a pair of those back in '86?
Listen to your dad. Those aren't cool. Billy knows.
The surf rat.
He had a mullet. Yeah.
Billy looking over his Ben Franklin bifocals. Son, those sunglasses are not cool.
I wish I had bifocals. They're just readers. They're not even bifocals.
Okay.
So Crystal said, who works for an eye doctor, that I can get a contact for one eye. So
Really?
and then you train this eye to read and this eye for far. So you don't have to wear glasses.
You'll be a cyclops.
I'll be your cycloptic friend, your myopic.
So, like, if you're like, hey guys, I need to see far, you close like one eye.
No, you
okay.
yourself to look through far away with your left eye.
How does that
I
work?
could never wear. I can't put something on my eyeball.
I
have astigmatism.
Dr. B, you wear contacts?
No, I have Stargardt's macular degeneration in my eye, so I can't put anything near it.
That sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
Doug, how about you? Niall, how about you?
These are my friends call me these my lesbian glasses. I only have my glasses. That's all I wear. These are progressive lenses, so they're like a bifocal.
So up on top, they're like.
Yeah, they don't work either because there's no lines. So like you can never find the sweet spot to actually read something. It's like it's always I'm going like this always when I'm looking at stuff. You look like an idiot.
No.
Don't do it.
Mine are
just get two pair of glasses.
No, I can see far great. Perfectly. It's just up close. I have it's my
I can see far okay.
Yeah, mine's for seeing far because I can see up close okay.
Mine is also for falling away.
Yeah, I can see far okay, but I only leave my glasses on all day so I can find them. Because if I took them off, who knows? So I put them on my shirt or whatever, but usually I just leave them on.
Hey, Doug, do you ever draw like something? I'm going to switch cameras. Do you ever draw something that you like? Like I'm drawing trees right now, right?
Okay.
And the one branch I drew came out really nice. And I liked the way this looked. And then I started drawing another one and I didn't capture it. Let me see if I could switch that over real quick.
Yeah,
you guys let me
over. Let's switch that over.
Let's just switch that right over.
While you're switching it over, does anyone know the name of this band?
Yeah. Saved by the Bell? I don't know. Does that one guy have like a wine mark on his face or did he put makeup on his eye?
What are you guys looking at? Okay, hang on.
He's got a shot.
I'm trying to see if anyone remembers the name of this band from the 80s.
Shut up, man.
Is that Billy? Billy and the TUCCI'S?
It was Halloween 1987.
It's Billy and the Two She's.
I was president of students. That's my boy Mark Sasso, my other boy Anthony Hawk, and Tim. And but I was president of students, so I had to go to the Halloween party. So I said, I'm going to be the road warrior. So I got some latex, and that's my regular leather jacket.
And then you showed up, and you realized you were the only one in costume.
No, there was all. It was big time, great party, chicks everywhere. It was awesome.
I feel like this guy's arms are really long.
Yeah,
like
right.
He's got one arm around this dude that seems normal, and then his arm is going around the other guy, and it just doesn't work.
Did you do that? Did you play with that?
No, I didn't play with it.
It might be somebody. There's probably somebody else behind him. It might be like my buddy Andrew or someone behind her or Jimmy. That's got to be it. Yeah, it's got to be it. Because you see the shoulder.
You think it's Jimmy, bro? You think it's Jimmy?
It's probably Jimmy. It's probably Jimmy behind him.
I don't know if that's Jimmy, bro. Look at that leather coat.
Jimmy's in costumes. It's probably my friend Jimmy. That's probably who it is.
Jimmy Possums?
No, Jimmy Strebel.
Was it Jimmy Possums?
Anyway, can I show you my branch I did that I like?
Okay.
Okay.
Right, so I know the lighting's messed up. See, I like this branch right here. See that?
I think you missed a cluster of leaves, Billy. You missed one.
Yeah, it's all cherry blossom. It's driving me nuts. Hang on.
Okay.
Really weird.
I like this. See how this is?
You forgot a button.
Hang on. Let it focus. Give it a second. Dang it. Might be too close.
Yeah, you got a clear silhouette on there. There's no tangent, right?
Yeah, see this? So see like the grade A. Come on.
Oh, jeez, this camera.
Jeez Louise. Okay. Hang on, give it a second.
You didn't put any undies on her, Billy. What are you doing there?
She's got her undies on. Yeah.
Oh,
All right, so
that's
we're
like Bush.
I don't know why it's out of focus. It's too close. But I like this brand. I like how this has this nice gradation to it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
yeah.
And then I'm working on this one down here. Look how stupid that looks.
That's
Yeah, you
horrible.
jacked your perspective. You changed it.
Yeah.
I did. Well, it's a different tree.
No, the tree.
I know, you're right.
In
I'm
the
just trying to
tree,
make-
you changed your
I'm just making
cylinder.
excuses. I'm making excuses for doing a
Billy,
horrible-
look, the cylinder from your camera angle. All those curves along that tree branch go the same way at the bottom. At the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you go lower. Yeah, you're right. It goes. It
Yeah.
should go the opposite way.
Camera.
God.
So just cross hatch it. Put it up. Put them going the right direction on top. Oh yeah, or it's pencils.
Or just
We'll just do that.
Billy, why are you penciling all that? You're gonna ink it.
No, I'm not going to.
embarrassing.
No,
You're not going to draw every pencil line with your ink.
No, I'm not
Put a-
inking
Put a
it.
few
I'm not
indications
inking it.
on there, and you're done. Move on.
I'm not inking it.
Oh,
It's pencils. My angle's all off. But yeah, look at this. Way off.
Oh, look at that face.
oh, that's beautiful,
Yeah, you want it.
dude. You nailed it.
See, if you were battling John,
That's our pretty cover. That's going to be our dual edition.
Is that
and,
Joni?
it's pretty.
It's beautiful.
It does look like Joni,
That
doesn't it?
does look like Joni.
No, it's not. Joni's doing a first
Cosplay
ever
cover, right?
cosplay cover. What? But I
It
love
does
this
a little
tree.
bit
I
look-
love what I did here with the great. I love that.
I love it too.
And this is crap on the bottom.
Do we just love each other?
No, it's good. You're doing fine.
All right. So I'll switch off. Sorry. Let me go back to my.
No worries.
Yeah,
Just
don't
tell
need
your
to-
colorist to self-ink the line. If I don't
I
like
drew it.
something in my drawing, I have the colorist self-ink the line. Then it goes away a little bit. Okay, let's downplay that.
dances. Hold on, sorry.
All right.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Thanks. Well,
If you're looking at that tree,
I'm listening. I'm
you
trying
didn't
to
do it right.
emulate that nice shininess of the, because anyway, it doesn't matter. Talk amongst yourselves.
Looks good, Billy. How's the other cover coming out?
It's done. Came out great. I'll show you. Want to see it? Want a quick?
With the ghosts?
hardcover.
With the
The
ghosts?
hardcover and then the glow in the dark edition.
Okay.
Let me see.
Is he taking a real phone call now, or is it
Chris
Doc
Hartman
again?
has it now. So he's coloring that. So that's this one.
Oh, lovely.
And then they got all the ghosts and all the ghosts. See all
look at the ghosts back
See,
there.
so high,
yeah.
all the ghosts in there. So we're gonna do two versions of this. One is gonna be. Let me show you. Look at this, Doug. I'm sorry, I'm taking over your
No,
show.
I've already seen this piece though. This was on the campaign, wasn't it?
Nope, not yet.
Wow,
Nope.
this is new.
Where did
Well,
I
my
see
artwork's
this
the same,
thing?
That's why.
You
So
may have
this
saw
is-
he's
This
posted
is our
it, I think.
hardcover, and the perspective's off. So forgive me because of the camera.
We'll live.
So that's our hardcover, and this is gonna be like fiery ghosts on the hardcover,
Mhm.
like orangey red fiery type ghosts. This dude
Nice.
down here, and then for the glow in the dark edition, which is gonna be the soft cover, they're gonna be green.
Cool.
The ghosts. Cool, right? And that's this other
Very
one.
cool.
And I'm gonna do another. I'm gonna do a sexy one of her in a kimono for the
Nice.
cover. So the fans
Beautiful.
get a sneak peek.
Very
Launching
nice,
in a few
Billy, very
weeks.
nice.
I gotta shoot that video this week, Niall.
Yeah, and then do the video for the campaign too.
Well, that's the video I'm talking about. What other video am I doing?
Oh,
When do you
My
launch,
TikTok
Billy?
video?
I thought you were doing the music video for your band reuniting.
Oh,
Billy, when do you launch?
I don't know yet. We're looking at dates. Maybe the 17th, or maybe as early as the 10th.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be great.
So,
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Everything will be on fire by then, but it's okay.
what'd you say? What?
Everything will be on fire by then.
I know. I noticed. I told my son to stay in up at he's up at school. I'm like,
Yeah.
Got
go
3 more
order
backers.
food and just stay in your dorm and play video games all night.
We'll do a Fury Road. We'll have to take tankers out to get food in another town.
Nice. Well, you got 3 more backers. Before we looked at, you were at 1,241. Now you're at
Oh yeah, look at that. Hey,
1,044.
thanks guys. I
3 new
appreciate
backers.
that. That's very kind of you.
Awesome.
I'm gonna make you a slaughterous book. You'll go, why in the world didn't I get in on this thing earlier? That's what we do.
Hey Doug, when you did the Bigfoot Bill 2, how many people came back and bought Earthworm Jim 1 when you had it up for offer? Did you sell a good amount of them?
What do you mean?
Was it
Bigfoot
most
Bill 2
people-
is after Earthworm Jim 1.
Say what?
Bigfoot Bill 2.
Yeah, but you had in Bigfoot Bill 2, you added the Earthworm Jim 1 as something they could purchase.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, tons.
I'm saying how I was wondering how many additional of those, and did you notice any correlation between those and your numbers from?
Well,
Earthworm
it definitely helped. I mean, anytime someone's buying your back library, that's helping the campaign a lot. So, but it also tells you, like, so on Bigfoot Bill 2, we did, I can't even remember what it was. I think it was 260 on that. No, it was 280, I think. And so, yeah, definitely, there was a lot of tiers of Bigfoot Bill 1 and 2 together. Because remember, I redid Bigfoot Bill 1. That's another thing, is I resold that first book to quite a few people. And then, of course, there's other tiers where you could add on Earthworm Jim. So that all drives that raise up. I don't know how many. It's I think I overprinted, might have been 1,500 books, something like that.
Oh, wow.
You overprinted 1,500?
Goodbye, Zippy.
Have a good night, Zippy.
But it's so hard, and Billy might know this. When you're doing your own inventory, it's so hard to overprint by 1,500 books, and you're sitting there with 5 pallets in a warehouse somewhere. Like, what am I going to do with that?
Yeah.
It's huge.
Well, I'm actually thinking about after this Haikyuu campaign, which is entitled The Next Book, we're doing our very first omnibus. It's 464 pages, and I'd like to print that sucker before I even launch. And
That's going to be tough to guess the numbers, though, buddy.
That's the problem, right?
But are you doing retail?
Eventually, but not yet.
Okay. Because that's going to be tough to do a book. That's the thing. I've got books in my back library, like Earthboy Jacobus is a 272-page book. I can't afford to risk that, because I got to color that, get that thing colored. It's going to be it's going to be a mint, and then to pull the print run on a book that size, and with my format being 9x12, it's going to be a freaking phone book.
Yeah. How many pages do you think it'll be?
Well, that one's 272 pages, 278.
Oh wow!
So outrageously huge.
Yeah. See, our omnibus is 464.
Yeah, that's a back. You should do it. Yeah, you got to do it big, but.
Well, that's the whole story, though. That is the first way of the warrior storyline. So I got to do it. I want to keep it all together.
Your super fans, your fans, your normal mailing list will want it. They'll all get it. Yeah. You put a special cover on that thing, you'll be good.
Yeah. Well, that's what we'll do. We'll launch it. You can only get it through Indiegogo. But we have to. But it would be so cool because it is such a big book, and I'm waiting for prices from API for it.
My people.
Yeah, but I need a pricing and I need scheduling. I need to know when I can do this book because
they're shut down. They do all their yearbooks between March, April, May.
Yeah,
they don't take on any books.
Right. So that's good. That's good to know for the next one then.
Very good.
And June then is a log jam because everything's coming in now. So
yep. Well, we plan to launch in the Haikyuu book. The omnibus will be for February, which means that I would, once we get an idea of our numbers, we go to press in March, really.
How many campaigns you doing this year?
So what?
How many campaigns you doing this year?
4. Yep.
Every 3 months.
We're going to do July. We're going to do February. We're doing November, February, May, because it's the omnibus is already done. The whole book's put together. May, and then August, and then next November with Zombie Sama 2.
Are you finding because you have so many books to offer? Are you finding your campaigns are getting cluttered just with all these tier variations?
I've only done 2 campaigns, really.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still new at all this. So
'Cause I look at Polito's campaigns, and man, it looks like a catalog.
oh yeah, no, we learned a lot. We totally did
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, we had like 9 different variants. This time I think we have 6, including the hardcover. It's just too much. And then a lot of that stuff is also going to be in the add-ons.
Yeah.
We'll have stuff in add-ons and not on the campaign page itself.
So another thing I want to do is I have a Shopify store, and I want to eventually get a bunch of the library on the Shopify store, so it relieves the demand to put it on every campaign.
Yeah, that's smart.
But then I got to market a Shopify store. Tell everyone it's
That's
marketed.
work.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, can you
maybe
get
that's
would you get these books in like retail stores again? Doug?
Me? Oh
Yeah.
no, I don't do retail.
No, you wouldn't bring those books to retail?
Never.
No. Why wouldn't you bring them to retail?
I just don't like it.
Mhm.
I don't think that the retail is made to even stock these kinds of books. They're,
Mhm.
This is the wholesale price is $25. So they're not going to pay $50. They're not going to jack it up to $50.
Yeah.
They're not going to ever buy in deep enough numbers to make it worth it. When I've got 3,000 backers and there's less than 2,000 stores,
Hmm.
That's smart.
it's something I could do, but they could just buy in the campaign just like everyone else does. They get a wholesale book, they can double the price, put it on their shelf.
Hmm.
So I haven't really, and comic book stores really, because I had 20 books available, they never consistently stocked my 20 books. They'd maybe have 2
Books
titles.
are not typical comic books though either. Like they could maybe the retail could be like a Barnes and Noble or Books A Million or something along those
Oh
lines.
yeah. But
Yeah,
again,
yeah, yeah.
Barnes and Noble and Books A Million, and even Amazon, they want your margin so small. They want it so cheap.
Hmm.
Mm.
You're better off just selling it yourself.
Yeah.
It's better for you. It's also better for your patrons.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's
the
exactly
best
it.
way to get it.
That's the bigger thing is like, if this succeeds, if this business succeeds, you don't need to do that. And
Yeah.
that is not going to be the big money maker. For me, my books have huge imprint on school libraries.
Hmm.
And there's just thousands of more libraries in the world than there are bookstores. So if I was going to make a play, I would send out a mailer to every library and probably double my, if I double my business is what I'm going to do, is probably go to libraries.
Nice.
And hardbound books hold up really well.
Yeah, no doubt.
They often carry 5, 10 of my books.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Nice. And then Billy, Alan Sparks is asking if you have the mailing list up yet. I'm assuming for
No, we
Haikyuu.
don't. That's another thing that we got to set up. We're finishing up the fulfillment. I think we have the 3,700 pledges that were made, backers total. I think we have 500 left to go, maybe even less. That's it.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So that's the whole point. Is to build a little fulfillment office. That's what we're going to do. I have a big garage, a detached garage, and I'm going to take half of that and turn it into a really nice office. And we're going to hire someone hire someone full time, and they'll work that.
That's how you do it.
Maybe online, the website, a web store or eBay or something. I have so much old she-books in inventory in storage. The classic ones.
Move them.
Start to sell them on eBay and stuff.
Yeah, just sign
There
them.
you go.
Sign them, Billy.
Yeah, why not?
Depending on how things go, Billy, I'll be moving there next week.
What?
Making it happen.
I think I'm gonna move to Connecticut.
I am going to move to Connecticut, I think.
Well, I think you're gonna win this campaign, so I don't think you're going anywhere.
Maybe. I don't know. I still need to meet up with Doug.
That's right. Come over and play, dude.
Away.
Come over.
Dude, it needs to happen.
I've almost got the studio. So I move in the studio next week. It's behind my house here. We can hang there and have cigars. We can have Dr. Pepper. I'll get you a big fridge full of Dr. Pepper.
Nice.
Now, Doug, do you do all your fulfillment, or do you have a fulfillment house doing it? For you?
Fulfillment. It's
that's right.
MPAC
You talked
out
about
in
that. That's right.
Clarksville. We
Yep,
already did
we
that.
talked about that.
Which,
That's crazy.
it's significant. I mean, if you take, in the last 2 years, I've raised 1.7 million. At least 300,000 of that goes to fulfillment.
Wow.
And that's why my wife wants to do it for us.
Yeah, and that's when we talk about those numbers. It actually makes sense to hire someone full time in house because they're not going to be making $300,000 a year,
right?
So you get someone to do all that work, but the thing is, you're going to be buying a ton of supplies are going to be coming in. Like I got a closet back there that's just a rack full of mailing supplies.
We got yep.
Floor to ceiling.
You got to see my house. If it didn't look so awful, I'd take a picture of it and share it with everybody. But then it would murder me.
That's the side of all the crowdfunding stuff that people don't really know about or talk about. Is kind of shipping and fulfillment is a very serious business.
Yeah,
the crowdfunding itself is a very serious business, and then managing inventory is a very serious business.
It's way more work than being a comic publisher for going through Diamond.
Yeah,
because you would get your books done at Quebec Core. And you give them your orders, and Diamond picks it up.
Yeah.
And that's it. But you're also making 40% off of your cover price.
That's right.
What you get before your costs.
That's right.
So it's a trade-off. This way you're getting 100%. But here's also the thing. Someone said something, but I'm ready for my 2 metal covers, if I could share that. Can't wait for these beautiful books. Thank you, Darren. And that's another thing. We were talking to a fulfillment house today, and why we're most likely 95% sure we're going to do our own fulfillment is because, like, Debbie knows, we know all these customers. So we know the guys who get, some guys want number 5, and they've wanted number 5 for 20 years if we've done a special book.
Sure.
So they get number 5, and we write a little note. Somebody wants number, can I get a 0? Sure, why not? We'll make a 0 out of it, and you print a 0 on the book. When the book gets printed, like add a number 0 to it, and they get that. If we use a fulfillment house, that won't happen.
Yeah,
So that's the thing, and it's nice because that's another great thing about the crowdfunding, is because you do have that connection with the buyers. Now,
if you do fulfillment, I would recommend finding one that you could drive to. So
that's another thing. Is
because you got to be able to go in and sign, and you got to be able to go in and do.
Yeah, because you're still able to do that, but you also have these enormous books too, and your numbers are crazy. So you would need to hire a whole staff, but you could drive there to them and do all the signing and stuff. So that works out for you. All the ones we've been talking about are very far away. Like I'd have to fly there.
My work is on the top end of what I can handle by myself, and it's getting to a point where I have to start hiring staff, but I'm not quite profitable enough to pull in enough staff.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm just sitting here, trying to do pages, and at the same time, it's a weird, very weird business. What I'm doing, because I'm doing the big books, the model is different than the floppy comic model. It's just it's like it breaks everything.
Yeah.
I gotcha. All right. Well, Doug, man, thanks again for coming on the show, dude. It's always fun hanging out with you. Oh, you're always welcome on. We've almost been on for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's good times, fellas. That's good times.
Good time to wrap it up. Guys, thanks so much for all you guys who backed Earthworm Jim 2 and the leather edition. I would like to thank all these guys for having me on. I'll hang with you guys anytime, anywhere. Look at that. 136.2.
Be right back at you.
That's fantastic, man.
Yeah,
and everyone, we'll be back on live Wednesday night at 9 p.m. We've got Marvin Wynn on. Been a long time supporter of the show, has a great comic series, The Edge. They'll be talking about some of their books. And we'll be having back on the show William Hazel from across the pond. So he'll be talking about his campaign and what he's got going on. So join us again Wednesday night at 9 p.m. for some more POPXP action.
No POPXP tomorrow, Scott?
What's that?
No POPXP.
It's election night, Billy. This place his house is gonna be on fire.
Joe Dorgeson's on the show tomorrow. All right.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna buy myself a nice bottle of single malt.
Yep.
I was thinking about going outside and smoking my pipe, but it's gonna be super cold, it looks like. So maybe and light a fire pit. But I think maybe I'll just stay inside and smoke.
Yeah, you gotta be in front of a TV.
Yeah, my wife won't let me smoke my pipe, and she lets me smoke my pipe. Well, I can do it up here. But I can do it by the fireplace down there.
Well, plus that whole room will smell like a pipe if you do it in there. I'm going to do it in my studio. I'm just going to say, look, this is my burner room. It's going to smell like a pipe in here forever.
There you go.
It's awesome.
All right, my people. God bless you
All right,
all.
everyone, have a great night, and we will see you all Wednesday.
It's awesome to see you.
And all you Americans vote tomorrow. Harrenburg,
Yeah.
have fun out there. Good job. Thank you for working. He's working the democratic process. He's working the polls.
Democratic Republic.
The Democratic right. The Democratic Republic.
Have a good night, everyone.
Go back, Earthworm Jim 2.
Yeah.
Back.
Hey everyone! Thank you for joining us on POPXP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the POPXP and over on Instagram at the POPXP. Thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you soon.